Walter Harp, the Vice President for Product Marketing at Mixpo, is here to share data on how media companies and brands are optimizing the creation, deployment, and evaluation of cross-screen campaigns. Actually, a great follow-up to the conversation I just had with Amanda. So please join me in welcoming to the stage from Mixpo, Walter Harp.
Thank you, Randall.
Have fun.
Yes, another report. And in fact, this report is 48 pages, so we put a lot of pictures in it. We wanted to make it more magazine-like. In fact, it's on your table. It has the picture of the boy in the night helmet. For this report, we actually sent out some research. We sent out some surveys to over 300 media companies and agencies. We also had several qualitative interviews. In fact, there are 36 quotes in the report, across agencies, across media companies, some brands, that help to inform our narrative within the report. And so if you have a chance on the plane or have a chance elsewhere, I highly encourage you to read the report. It covers actually 10 topics that are related to multi-screen. If you read this report, I promise you, you'll feel smarter. And as far as the report goes, it is about multi-screen, but the focus is on video advertising, multi-screen video advertising. I'll touch on just a few highlights. I love this quote from the head of digital marketing at JP Morgan Chase. And the reason I like it is I like the phrase new media mix. Some of you have probably already heard it or already using it, but we have moved beyond the traditional media mix. And the new media mix, honestly, it goes beyond multi-screen. It's multi-format, it's multi-channel, and we'll talk about that a little bit. You guys have already seen statistics very similar to this, so there's probably nothing surprising here. 9 out of 10 agencies, 9 out of 10 media companies are saying yes, they will proactively, planfully do multi-screen this year. That means multi-screen, honestly, is de facto. And again, we're talking about video. The interesting tidbit, though, it's been de facto for about 2 or 3 years now, and the reason why is that 10% of all web traffic ends up on mobile devices. It's been that way for a while, so whether you've planned it or not, your ads, your digital ads, video or otherwise, have been appearing multi-screen. It's just a matter of whether or not you've lassoed them so that you're controlling the consumer experience. In this question, we asked agencies and media companies, are you ready? How ready are you for multi-screen? This was largely operational. It could be a number of the issues that Amanda and Randall discussed around pricing, et cetera. But this is largely operational. How ready are you? And it was interesting to see that roughly 40% of our respondents said that we're reasonably competent. Another 40% said, oh, we're growing in this area. But we all know that at the end of the day, today and onward, it can't just be good enough, reasonably competent, it has to be flawless. Our advertisers, our clients, some of you in the room, will hold us to that bar. Why wouldn't it work multi-screen? Why wouldn't it work flawlessly? So the question really becomes, are we prepared for that? There are several challenges when it comes to multi-screen. I'm not going to enumerate them because if you've read Ad Age or Media Post or any of the trades, you've heard of them for a long time now. Really what this report does is it speaks from the industry perspective. It lets your peers speak to you and say, here's how we're assessing these problems. Here's how we're approaching them. So it's a more solution-oriented approach versus just the challenges. Now that being said, top 5 challenges listed by agency and media companies are, surprise, measuring, we just talked about that, a perceived lack of standardization, a perceived need to create multiple creative executions to go across screens, targeting, and actually a distant fifth was the issue of available inventory. One note on measuring first. When it comes to the challenge with measuring, and I think I'm really just reiterating in different words what Randall and Amanda were talking about, it's not that there's not enough data. There's plenty of data out there being generated by campaigns, multi-screen campaigns. It's not about metrics. Have we thought about enough metrics? Is there the perfect metric out there? That's not the case. It is the lack of agreement across the industry on which metrics, obviously depending on campaign goal, matter. Which metrics matter? You know, some few things like measurement of engagement. What does that actually mean? Just real quick, what I will say is what advertisers and media companies told us they're mostly interested in are reach and frequency. So guess what? GRP does a pretty good job. After that, it's engagement. Again, is that clicks? Is that hoverovers? What is that? Is it plays? Completion rates for video? Brand uplift, brand impact, which goes back to surveys. And we're in an area or an age of technology that gets us out of the traditional market research protocol where you're paying tens of thousands of dollars to do an A/B test before or after. You can do it now. You can run your surveys inside your video ads. So let's move from challenges to solutions. I talked about standardization or perceived lack of standardization being an issue. We know there are a lot of challenges that are probably preventing the scale we should be at when it comes to multi-screen. Discovery Communications ran a terrific campaign with us in February of this year around the Super Bowl. They had the Puppy Bowl. Subaru was their sponsor. Discovery was the first media network, the first premium content company to use a new standard called VPay 2.0. Don't worry about the alphabet soup. Know what it does. VPay 2.0 says, take the beautiful interactive video ad that you're running in stream and run it across screens with a single tag. Now, there's been a lot of hand waving out there. Well, of course, can't you do that? Well, actually, it's harder than you think. But VPay 2.0, which actually comes from the IAB, helps you to do that. Opportunity, simplification. We believe that responsive design, which is a very hot word right now, very hot term, will become de facto. Why wouldn't it be de facto? Why wouldn't the technology enable that? This is actually an execution that represents our de facto, our responsive design. This is an ad for Chrysler. The ad that's on the iPad. You can see it has a number of overlays, a number of interactive overlays, where it's to pause the video ad and flip through a gallery of images. We don't have it here, but it could just as well be pause the ad and turn the vehicle 360 degrees, change the color. But those overlays change when it gets to the iPhone. Now here's what's important, and it goes back to this perception that it requires multiple creative executions, which is a hassle. At the end of the day, 95, if not more, % of the value of this ad is the video itself. A lot of money, a lot of time went into creating this Chrysler commercial, whether it was created specifically for online or more likely for the television. That's what matters. Now, the overlays do drive engagement. We know that's important. We know that's number 2, according to the report, according to the research. But it's actually not that hard to alter those interactive elements. You're not messing with the beauty and the polish of the video ad itself. By the way, that was one tag producing both of those. The last highlight, and this gets away again from challenges to opportunity, is multi-screen within the social channel. I mentioned multi-channel before. Social is largely what I think of when I think of multi-channel. As we all know, if you've been reading the press, we're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop when it comes to Facebook and video advertising. Twitter is very, very aggressive in that area. And one of the things that they've enabled, which is relatively new through their APIs, is the ability to post an interactive video ad in the Twitter feed itself, organically paid. So this is an interactive video ad with all the reporting that comes with it, not just a flat video inside my Twitter feed. This is the same ad. It's a little bit more tiny in this screenshot, but it's right there in the middle in my Facebook app on my phone. Again, it could be organic. I posted it to my fan page and went out to 1 million people, or it could be paid media. It comes with all of the reporting. Interestingly, this is one tag. This one tag runs on Google+. It runs on Tumblr. It runs on LinkedIn and obviously Facebook and Twitter. So is the opportunity there? Absolutely. Craig Weinberg gave us this quote for the report. And the reason I like it is it does say, listen, the technology is there. Are you aware of it? And it's not technology in the wonky, oh my God, I've got to do some coding and I've got to put some stuff on my enterprise servers. No, it's actually simplifying and it's out there. And it's really just a matter of accessing it. Accessing it so that you're executing flawlessly. And it's a question of, do you build it yourself or do you partner with a best-in-class partner to enable you to execute on multi-screen and to surpass your client's expectations? Which gets down to us, Mixpo, not Mixpro, Mixpo. And what we do is we work with agencies and media companies, 6 out of the top 10 video sites, to provide them with interactive video ad solutions that run multi-screen. That's our specialty, is multi-screen. And going back to the quote from Chase, what we like to say is that we're the video ad solutions, the best video ad solutions for the new media mix. Thank you.